Welcome into Jags A.M. I'm Kainani Stevens. Brian Sexton and John Ogier are with me today. We're going to have your Thanksgiving pre-edition here on Wednesdays. We get ready for the holiday and we get ready for the Jaguars to take on the Texans this weekend. We heard from Doug Pederson yesterday for the first time since the bye week, and we did learn a couple of things, or at least some new information. So big thing number one is internal changes. Doug Pederson not overly forthcoming with what those changes are, but he did say there were changes made.
Yeah. Nothing that I'll share at this time. And I personally think that, just to be a little bit more clear on that, you know, it's sort of, I say that to say this, that a lot of these are in-house, and these are things that we focus on as a staff and as a team, and I just don't think they need to be in the open right now.
Brian, we don't know what the exact changes are going to be. Maybe we'll figure them out on Sunday when we see the team go out there against the Texans, but too little too late for changes at this point, or are you just happy they're doing something different?
I'm not quite sure what you're asking, Kai. Am I supposed to interpret what I mean, it's just so
vague.
Yeah. I mean, he leaves it open for us to guess, and that's dangerous in and of itself. Are we talking about who's calling the plays, whether they're eliminating the rotation on defense that has caused so much angst? It probably does make sense for him not to share all of it, but a little bit of it would make it a little bit easier to describe. Have no clue what they are. Neither does John.
I have my thoughts, but I'm not going to share them at this time.
Okay, we appreciate you announcing that. Big thing number two, practice makes perfect. Trevor Lawrence, we haven't seen for a couple of weeks. Mac Jones was a starter for the last 2 weeks before the bye. He was at practice on Monday. John, we don't know still at this point. I think we'll have maybe a little bit better idea at the end of the week, but they purposely vague usually with these kinds of things. But it was good to see Trevor back out there, John.
Yeah, and I think, I was going to say I have my thoughts on this too. I'm not going to share them. It feels, Brian and Kai, like it's going to be a week where we don't find out much hard information about Trevor Lawrence and they take him into the weekend. I kind of feel like he'll play. I guess if he wasn't going to play, I think they would probably take the same approach as they did in that last game where he didn't play before the bye. And that's kind of tea leaves. Thank goodness we have this to discuss because I'm not sure what else we would discuss.
Yep.
But that's sort of how it feels. I think he'll play. And, you know, frankly, Brian, as somebody who looks for storylines, let's cross our fingers and hope he plays.
Yeah.
Because it'll be interesting and it'll feel real. I don't know how it's going to feel if and when Trevor Lawrence is done for the season, if that even happens.
So, you know, normally when they play the vague, you know, the game with quarterback, I mean, it's obviously to keep the other team guessing and make them spend some time preparing for Mac Jones or C.J. Beathard. But what would be a setback for him? I mean, he's not going to take a hit on the practice field this week. So if he looks good and feels good, I mean, where are you on Friday? And even then, you get the sense Doug isn't going to make any sort of a public proclamation on this thing, but he wasn't on the practice field the week of the Lions game. I would think that the fact that he's out there getting some first-team reps, which is what we saw when practice was open, would indicate that he's going to play.
Knock the rust off a little bit. Hopefully we see Trevor out there on Sunday. Our final big thing today going to be Sunday Showdown. They're taking on the Texans. It's a divisional battle. Texans big loss last week, and just what we've been able to see, Brian, what would a win this week do for this team, especially right now?
Well, I mean, they're the class of the division. They're 7-5, even though they haven't played well the last couple of weeks. They are still a team that the Jaguars have been chasing since this season started, and they were holding them off when last season ended. So they're the class, they're the top of the food chain, and to go out there and beat them would indicate that maybe you're not as bad as you looked against the Lions. And that would be a big statement for this team to make, John.
Yeah, and I think they should realize that in the last two meetings with these teams, the Jaguars won the one at the end of last season. It was really the last breath of life for this team because Cincinnati came next and all of a sudden everything started falling apart. And they, you know, I don't want to say the Jaguars were the better team in Houston, but they sure had plenty of chances to put that game away and win, so the difference wasn't that much. I think it's a game the Jaguars can win. It won't save this season, but I guess it would, if you assume that the Texans are going to be a team that the Jaguars as a franchise has to deal with going forward, beating them, holding serve at home, beating them for the first time here since 17, it would matter in the sense that there wouldn't be a tilting toward the Texans feel right now, and maybe that would be a good thing going forward.
And Kai, I think it's important to point out they're the best team remaining on the schedule, right? I mean, the Titans, the Jets, the Texans are the best team left. So if you have it in your mind, hey, let's go on a little winning streak here at the end, to start with the best team and to beat them would give you something to build on.
Stay with us on Jags A.M. We do not know what those internal changes are, but we're going to give you our best guess after the break.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval. Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for watch and tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
Field Auto Group Jacksonville, Jacksonville's premier luxury auto group. You can go to fieldauto.com to check them out.
This or that. This or that.
Welcome back into Jags A.M. We're going to do a little this or that. Doug Pederson talking about internal changes on both sides of the football, but didn't want to elaborate any more than that. But we're going to do our best to guess as to what those might be. We'll start with some defensive changes, and I just picked 2 that I would like to see, and I'll want your guys' point of view. If we could get Ventrell Miller as a starter and more snaps, or Eric Armstead only starting as defensive tackle, which one would you like to see?
Armstead is a defensive tackle. He's been a non-factor to my sight as a defensive end. You know, what rushing from that wide 9. But in the middle, he is tall, he's long. He is the kind of guy with his arms stretched, is in the field of view of the quarterback. I would love to see him back where he had his most success in San Francisco, which is lined up in the 3 technique.
Yeah, I agree with you, except I don't know. It's hard for Trayvon and Josh to play every snap out there, and I don't know who else you put out there. But I would take that with Armstead playing in the middle, absolutely. At the same time, I want to see Ventrell in there. I'd like to see a game where Ventrell plays most snaps, every snap. That's not going to happen because you're not going to take Devin Lloyd completely off the field. But gearing more toward both, I would like to see.
I'd love to see some more Ventrell in there for sure.
Yeah.
Looking at the offensive side of the football, Press Taylor and Doug Pederson, we've been talking about play calling for what seemingly is months, and while we both think, I think we all think, that they call pretty similar games, that may be one of the changes that we've been talking about, because Doug didn't answer it before the bye week, and now he's saying there's changes.
Well, he hasn't answered it all season.
Right.
I mean, he has left it obtuse so that people could guess. And when I'm at a speaking engagement or in line at Publix and someone starts railing about Press Taylor and his play calling stinks and they should fire him, I'm like, are you sure he's calling them? I mean, Doug could have clearly said, I'm calling the plays, or Press is calling the plays, but he didn't want to do that. Again, he's an old school guy. He likes to leave people guessing, his opponent also. John, they're of the same mind. They've worked so closely together through the years. I don't know that it matters which one calls the plays.
Yeah, I've thought this since day one that it's been an overblown issue. It's been a hot point issue that, frankly, Doug has created by leaving it be an issue. I don't think he thinks it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal, but fans think it's a big deal. Who calls play? Again, I think you're getting mostly the same result, no matter who calls them. Flip a coin. I'm fine with it either way.
He's been adamant about it going back to his days in Philadelphia. Reportedly, that's what cost him the head coaching job when he was with the Eagles, was that he wouldn't make that change. And, of course, he stood up here right after the Lions game and wouldn't let people point fingers at his coaches. He said, point him at me. So I don't think you'll ever know until one or both of them are doing something somewhere else who is calling the plays here.
Get some insight after the fact.
Maybe.
All right, coming up after the break, we're going to tell you what we're thankful for this Thanksgiving for Jaguars football.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market, because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year one in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year one and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Our commitment isn't just seen throughout the community. It's celebrated by our patients. Our achievements aren't just found in our labs. They are advancing the way we care for you. Our comforting approach and advocacy aren't just found bedside. They are inspiring the next generation of caregivers. UF Health Jacksonville. Our care never quits. See how at ufhealthjax.org/neverquit.
Hey Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey sponsor of the NFL, it's not kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why they've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more. Please drink responsibly.
Jacksonville Builders score big with DL Cabinetry. As the official cabinet supplier of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they offer top quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry for any project. Enjoy fast turnaround, complimentary design, and great prices. Visit dlcabinetry.com today to learn more and to become a dealer. Limited spots available. DL Cabinetry, the winning choice for builders.
Are you ready for some football? Well, you are now, thanks to Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Jacksonville Jaguars and the NFL, Ticketmaster's got the best way to take it to the house when it comes to being there live. They're the safest and most convenient marketplace to score fully verified Jaguars tickets. And even if your plans get broken up or worse, turned over, Ticketmaster gives you more flexibility to sell your seats. So get those touchdown celebrations ready and score your tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Jaguars.
For 11 years, Dreamfinders Homes have been proud to call themselves the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can visit dreamfindershomes.com for all of the available inventory, and go Jags. Back here on Jags A.M. Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so things are not where we expected them to be at this time of the year, but we're still thankful because we get to cover football every single day, and we found a couple of things to be thankful for. I think that's fair enough. But
relative to football.
Yes, relative to football, relative to this team. Brian, I think the stadium deal has to be right up there this year.
Well, it is for me because for so many years it was a question mark if the Jaguars would be in this market long term. There was a time in 2002 where the stadium was empty and they were giving away tickets, and you always look to the future and what would cement this team in this town long term. Championships do that. They don't have one of those yet. But to have a stadium like the one that they're calling the Stadium of the Future to look forward to, and a long-term 30-year lease means that, you know, by the time we get to the end of that lease, the Jaguars should have a couple of championships and a tradition and a couple of generations. I think the stadium represents the long-term future of the Jaguars and Jacksonville married together. So I'm personally very thankful having been here since the beginning.
For sure.
Yeah, I am as well, obviously. I mean, it's as somebody who, I was around when Irsay landed the helicopter in the 70s. A buddy of mine down the street had a Jacksonville Colts shirt, all that stuff. So to have that be solidified long after we're gone, Brian, is it's a very cool thing, and it in the big picture matters more than the immediate. We just need to get the immediate where it's more fun than it is.
Yeah, I was going to say the immediate would be really helpful right now. But when you pull out and think about your kids, being able to be Jaguars fans like the people in Wisconsin are with Green Bay, that's meaningful.
I think one of the bright spots I always like to point out is Brian Thomas Jr. because I didn't expect it, John. I think we were both on the same page of let's get a corner, maybe someone on defense, but Brian Thomas Jr. is one of the brightest spots we've had this season.
Yeah, Brian and I both thought they might go offensive line. I didn't know which direction they would go. Anybody who reads me for the long term knows I expect very little out of rookies usually, and Brian Thomas Jr. has far exceeded my expectations. I think what's the most exciting is you can see what he is. You can see what he's going to be, and you know, if usually rookies are operating at about 40% of what they're going to become. When this kid gets everything, meaning NFL level professionalism, when the game slows down for him, he's got a chance to be top 5, and you know, who knows how good he can be. I guess what I'm getting at, Brian.
Yeah, listen, I mean, unanswered prayers, right? I wanted them to take offensive tackle. I really felt like in this draft, Kai, which was so loaded with great young offensive tackles, and with Cam on his way out and Walker Little on the last year of his deal, I wanted to take a tackle. And then this kid comes through and is a revelation, and I'll use Jimmy Smith's phrase to me. Wow, standing on the sidelines of that Colts game before complimented the Ring of Honor, he said, wow, that kid is really good. And Jimmy doesn't throw around a lot of compliments to other wide receivers. So that one really sticks in my head. He is special. He will be that guy who helps the quarterback lift his game, right? There's a lot of pieces they need to add, but when you've got the quarterback and the wide receiver, and mix in the running back and the tight end, you've got some things. But you got to have the alpha receiver. He's the first alpha that we've had in Jacksonville since 2005.
That'd be good.
When Jimmy was playing, yeah.
It's good to see it. Mine is a little bit, I have a two-parter, because mine originally was, I'm thankful we're not playing on Thanksgiving, because I thought we were going to play this year. This is the only franchise that hasn't played on Thanksgiving. Thought we're playing Detroit. Maybe we'll play that game. That wouldn't have been very fun to see that Detroit game play out this week. And also to have the break, be home with our families, and be able to celebrate the holiday. So I am thankful for that. But then also, breaking news today, Tyler Shatley is back, and selfishly, he is one of my favorite players that I've ever covered. We're all big fans of him here on the couch, so Tyler Shatley back in the house on the practice squad makes me happy this Thanksgiving.
Good for Tyler.
The locker room has a legitimate beard once again.
Yes,
a man who takes it very, very seriously.
Yes,
I'm grateful for him to be back too. He came here in 2014 as an undrafted rookie and stayed all those years. He's such a sage voice in the locker room, even though he wasn't a starter or a star. He was a guy that you could always go to for a little bit of perspective. He's got it. A great guy. Happy Thanksgiving. Glad to have you back, Tyler.
Yeah, no doubt.
And his 11th season, so nice to have an elder Jaguar statesman in the house again, once again.
Yep.
All right, stay with us. We'll tell you what's coming up the rest of the week before the Texans game on Sunday.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Our commitment isn't just seen throughout the community. It's celebrated by our patients. Our achievements aren't just found in our labs. They are advancing the way we care for you. Our comforting approach and advocacy aren't just found bedside. They are inspiring the next generation of caregivers. UF Health Jacksonville. Our care never quits. See how at ufhealthjacks.org/neverquit.
When disaster strikes, trust the experts at Surf Pro. As a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, they bring the same dedication and precision to restoring your property as the Jaguars do on the field. Whether it's water, fire, or storm damage, their highly trained professionals are on call 24/7 to make it like it never even happened. Surf Pro, your local leader in restoration and cleanup.
Stuck on what to do with a plumbing issue? Just call the Duck. Duck Rooter are experts at plumbing and are a 5-star Google-rated company. You name it, they do it. Water heater replacements to sewer drain cleaning, leaks to repipes. Fully licensed and insured with highly trained technicians. Trust the Duck to fix it right. Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
No matter what happens to your phone this holiday, whether it crashes down the chimney or gets broken like a New Year's resolution, Verizon's got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a wonderful new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on Unlimited Ultimate and iPad and Apple Watch Series 10. That's up to $2,000 in value. So you'll save big on 3 amazing Apple gifts. Only at Verizon. Service plan required for iPad and Apple Watch. Up to $2,000 value based on iPhone, iPad, and Apple Watch. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details. Apple Intelligence available now.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans. Also, this weekend's game against the Texans, sponsored by the University of Florida Health, they are proud healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's going to be this Sunday's game against the Texans. Also going to be the My Cause, My Cleats game, which is pretty cool because each player gets to pick a cause or charity that's really important to them and get to wear that on their cleats, which normally they're very particular about what you get to wear for your uniform. I believe those are Ross Matisick's going to be representing the J Fund, Trevor Lawrence doing Wolfson's Children's Hospital, and then my personal favorite cleats, I don't know if we have, yes, Evan Ingram is doing the Special Education School of Florida, and he loves that. And then this is also Coach Shuey and some of the other coaches are going to be representing triple-negative breast cancer research to honor Shuey's wife, who just finished treatment in October. So happy for that. Lots of great causes. Check it out. We'll have a bunch of stuff posted throughout the week about different players and what causes they're representing.
You know, the league is so persnippety about uniform and sock length. I mean, they have people with clipboards that walk around on the sidelines before a game and, you know, make sure that guys aren't violating that. So it was really nice to see when they let up for this a few years ago, and it was 2 or 3 players. And now I think over the course of the season, every player in the league gets to do this.
Yes,
yeah.
And it's nice to just
very
kind of
cool.
throw that all away for a week. So very, very fortunate. And hopefully you guys have some good Thanksgiving plans, yes?
I'm cooking.
You're
I
cooking.
love to cook, and I'm excited to do it.
And John will
Fantastic. My sister's in town, so that'll be great.
we love it.
And you?
I'll probably take the dog to the beach, and then I'll find a turkey somewhere, as I always do. We appreciate you guys joining us. We are thankful for you guys joining us. We'll be back on Monday to talk about that Texans game. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your holiday.